The other day I was looking on the internet and I saw some clickbait. It said, Christmas gifts you should never give to anyone. And of course I clicked on it because that's what you do. And because I wanted to know, I wanted to find, I'm not very good at gift giving, and I wanted to know, what should I never give? And some of them, I said, this is great. Like, you never give anything that says, as seen on TV, these gadgets, because nothing says that I don't care about you by giving a gift that's going to break by New Year's. You just don't do that. You don't give a jewelry, because the items that, guys, this is for us, the items that you can afford, she doesn't want, and the items that she wants, you can't afford. So don't give jewelry. Don't give any scented candles, because that just means you really don't know this person. And don't give any gym memberships, because it's not a gift. It's more of a suggestion. Don't want to give that. Don't give any clothing, because undoubtedly she's going to say, all right, this size I have not been in since middle school. Or it's like, yeah, you just don't want to go there. Because we do want to give good gifts. We want to give perfect gifts that will just light up the room and say, yeah, that's what I wanted. Christmas time is for gift giving. And we miss that. We miss it in the materialism, and we want to give that perfect gift, but we don't know how. And so today we're going to talk about gifts. We're going to talk about gifts. And while it's very hard to do, the Gospel of Matthew, he talks to us about gift giving. And let me read a little bit how some people turned gift giving upside down. It comes from Matthew chapter 2, and I'll start off here at verse 1. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from eastern lands arrived in Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him." You know, our Christmas programs tell us that there was 3 kings, and it's nice. It's a nice package, but they were just wise men. They were just wise men. Some people say that they were astrologers or sorcerers or magicians, or maybe they were just educated people, seekers of truth. These were people that were doctors and scientists, philosophers, and maybe there was some kind of mixture in there, but they were the wise men in their country, people from the East, and they were looking for truth. You know, we kind of wonder, like, where did they really come from? It just says the East, eastern lands. You see the map there. It's thought that they came from over by Babylon. Because a couple hundred years before this, all of God's people were taken out of Jerusalem and the land. They said, all right, you guys are causing trouble. And they shipped them all off to Babylon. We read about them in Daniel and Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. We learn about this. They took the best and the brightest and all these people, and they brought them over to Babylon. That means they also brought the people that knew the Scriptures. And people who had never heard of the Old Testament as we know it heard about this. They heard about it in Numbers. In the first 5 books of the Bible, it goes Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. It says, a star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter will come out of Israel. Well, this star is coming, and the star is going to be a king. Well, they came from, all the way from Babylon is kind of like 1,000 miles or so, because it's not really straight. You got to follow the roads. And the roads aren't 4-lane highways. They weave all over there. They follow the best way over, and it probably took 2 to 3 months. It's like going from Fox Lake all the way down to Houston, Texas. It's not going to be a week. It's going to be a long time. And they followed a star. And we don't know what kind of star it was. We don't know if it was a supernova or Jupiter and Saturn coming into alignment or some other thing that happened. We don't know what happened, but there was the star. And they had heard about the star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter will come out of Israel. And they said, we need to find out about this. We're going to seek the truth wherever it goes. Wherever this star goes, we're going with. And they get close to Jerusalem and they say, well, we got to figure this out. We're in Israel. What's going on over here? Maybe we'll find out. And they start asking questions, and it was really interesting that the people closest to God's promise coming true were least interested. The promise of the scepter, this king coming, and the star coming over, the people closest to that were least interested in this happening. These kings, these three magi, the wise men, they come in and they say, where's this newborn king? And the people are saying, who, do you mean Herod? No, there's a coming king. Well, Herod's been king for years. No, you don't understand. This new king, he's going to be born. And then we're following this star. Are you guys crazy or something? Like, where'd you guys come from? And they didn't understand. And then maybe they get a little bit more animated. And they go, listen, this is important. A king is coming. One who's been prophesied for centuries. He's coming. Where is he? And if you want to get the attention of the present king, one who is ruthless, bloodthirsty, and will kill anybody who threatens his power, start talking like that. So let me go on with this story here. We'll keep reading. King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, as was everyone in Jerusalem. Of course, the king, the bloodthirsty king, is going to be disturbed. He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of the religious law and asked, where is this Messiah supposed to be born? In Bethlehem in Judea, they said, for this is what the prophet wrote. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not least among the ruling cities of Judah. For a ruler will come from you who will be the shepherd for my people Israel. Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Then he told them, I get the idea that he's got like a little snaky guy, like rubbing his hands together. And he goes, go back to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go worship him too. And after this interview, the wise men went their way. And the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem, which is like 6 miles from Jerusalem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy, and they entered the house and saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened their treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Did you hear how they turned gift giving upside down? Did you see? Maybe you didn't see it. Let me tell you. They turned gift giving upside down, but they gave their time. They gave their time. They turned time upside down as they gave it. It's not a short trip from where they were to Jerusalem. It took a lot of time to get there. Think of us a second. There was a Barna research a number of years ago, 2014. They said, what's the most important thing of Christmas? I'll let you think of that a second. What's the most important thing of Christmas? And 72% of people, 72% of Christians said family time is the most important part of Christmas. Only 13% said the birth of Jesus, 72% said it's family time. And hopefully you got a hold of this, that we have no time for Jesus. We have 1 hour a day of Sunday, right? Sunday, got it. You got it. 1 hour. But we don't have more than that. We like them we'll put them back by the tree and we'll go to them at Christmas Day, maybe, when we open presents, but we don't have time for him. We don't give Jesus the gift of our time. And we also don't give him the gift of our energy either. Right? Think of these guys. This magi coming from the east, they spend 2 to 3 months on a trip. You've got to be focused. You're watching this. Okay, we're watching. We're just keep walking. Their focused energy for 2 to 3 months. Their study of, all right, we're going to follow the truth. We're going to get there. You know, I don't know if I could have done it. Living out on the road for 2 to 3 months, walking as slow as the slowest person in your camp. I'm more of a fast walker. I'd rather hey, let's get there. I don't know if I could have done that. To stay focused with, all right, I got all this energy. Oh, I got to skip walking there. Giving God our time and our energy. And maybe even our worship. Let me read this a second. They entered the house and saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened the treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Even before they gave any of the other gifts, any tangible gifts, they gave their worship. They worshiped him. They gave him the respect, the honor, what he was due. Do we do that? Do we go that far? You know, I get the idea that our generation, our lives here, we're just filled with distraction. That we don't get to this. Our upside down gifts are because we are distracted. How many times do you go out for coffee with somebody, and I don't know which way you hold your phone. Do you put it right side up? Do you put it down? Do you put it in your pocket? But all of a sudden it goes off. Do you answer it? Oh no, this is my wife. I got to get this, right? And you got to answer that. Or one of your kids, they might be in trouble, or they want to hear from me. Or it's somebody you don't want to talk to. Oh, I'll get it later, and you put it back. But it's too late. You're already distracted. That person in front of you, you've already distracted all your conversation. It takes a couple minutes to get back to where you were. And you've already been distracted. You know, what if we gave undistracted time, focused energy in all of our worship? This is the idea. Hopefully you get a hold of this. The gifts you give reveal your heart. And until we turn it upside down, and as our God wants us to, all of our gifts will be substandard and flawed and maybe worthless. And our God says, no, I need you to turn it upside down, especially during Advent. I had this book that I took off the library shelf this week. It's called Wasting Time with God. I recommend it. And hopefully you grab a hold of it right away, that there's no such thing as wasted time with God. It's no such thing. Every second that you invest with God pays dividends. I don't think I've ever had a time that there was a decision to, all right, do I spend time with God? Maybe read my Bible, or take a time to write out a prayer, or however it was. There's never been a time that I invested in that at the end I said, oh, that was a waste of time. Oh, I could have been doing 200 other things, but I wasted my time talking with God. I wasted my time reading what He says, His Word to us. There's no such thing. And that is a gift to us. We need to be encouraged today to say, I need to give that gift of my time and my energy and my worship to my God. Even before I give my tithes and my offerings, I need to give Him my worship and time and my energy. And hopefully we leave here today, and that's where we are. We thought, I need to do this. And if that is all you get today, you will get half of a message. Because that is not the main point for today. Yes, we need to turn our gift giving upside down and give Him our time and our energy and especially our worship. But that is so superficial. Because at the base of what we have here, we don't need more presence. We need God's presence. If we hear nothing else about gifts today, we need to hear about Jesus, who is the gift to us. God's presence to us. There was a 17th century Scottish pastor, wonderful times, talking to old pastors, reading their stuff. But his name was Henry Scougal, great Scottish name. He says this: God hath long contended with a stubborn world, and thrown down many a blessing upon them. And when all His other gifts could not prevail, He at last made a gift of Himself. We're going to talk about gifts today. It is all about God's gift to us. He turned gift giving upside down and says, I know what you need. I know exactly what you need. It's not all these other things. It's me. It's my presence amongst you. It is Jesus, God in the flesh, that is the greatest gift. And that's hopefully where we grab a hold of. I hope that you grab a hold of the turn gift giving upside down and go and send a note to someone who's lonely, or to visit someone who's kind of shut in or forgotten by other people. I hope you're kind to people and turn away a harsh answer with kindness. I hope that you mend a broken relationship. Start off by saying, I'm sorry, and see where the conversation goes. I hope you say to somebody, I forgive you, and give that gift. But hopefully you don't lose track of Jesus, our gift. Hopefully that you don't lose that. Our whole idea for today comes down to gift giving. And we're going to have communion. We're going to have communion, which is about God's gift to us. We celebrate communion because that's our gift. Let me tell you about communion. The truth of Christmas is that we understand sin so much greater at Christmas time, don't we? People are just so short with one another. People are just on edge. I got to do all these things. I got to hang out at the Christmas party. I don't want to go. I don't like these people. I got to give them a gift? What am I going to give them a gift for? I don't like them. Our sin, our flawedness, our corrupted hearts is on display. And hopefully all of those scenarios, you'll go, yeah, I got that one. I understand. Because it's true. Sometimes you like people more than others, but on the whole, we see our sin so clearly. And we give imperfect gifts because our hearts are imperfect and are flawed and broken. And the good news of today is Romans chapter 5, which tells us, but when we were still sinners. Christ died for us. His gift to us was, I know you're sinners. There's no way you can fix this on your own. I am going to come and pay the price for you. I'm going to take your punishment, and then I'm on the cross, and I'm going to rise victoriously over sin and death and hell itself, and I'm going to offer this to you as a gift that I will pay for your sins. That's my gift to you. And we so free of sin and shame and guilt and the dead-end streets that we run down. And there will be no more separation between me and God. I know the sin just separates me, but there's not going to be any separation. And accept this as a gift. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. And then we read more in Romans chapter 10. It says, if you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you'll be saved. You accept God's gift of his presence and paying the price for your sin. It's accepting that gift. It's not complicated. It says, do you profess with your mouth that Jesus is the Lord, the King of my life, the leader of my life? And you believe in your heart that he paid the price. He was victorious when he rose from the dead. And when he said, yes, I will pay for your sins too. When you say that, you're saying, I accept your gift. And when he said, it is finished, he not only said it to the Father and said, hey, it is all done. I've done this. He not only said it to God, but he also said it to Satan. It's finished. You don't have any more power over my people. And he also said it to us. He says, it's finished. There's no more separation between you and God. That is God's gift to us. So if you have declared that, if you said, oh, Jesus is the Lord of my life, he has paid for my sins, then all of this, all of the celebrating of communion is for you as well. We celebrate it together. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to take some time, and we're going to have the elders come to the front at this time. We're going to celebrate God's gift to us. God's gift. And what we'll do is we're going to pass it through the rows. We have the bread and the juice, and we're going to pass it between the rows. We're going to pass the bread out first, and then we'll also pass out the juice right after. And hold on to them, because we're going to take them all together as a team. So